right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, today with the Ruiz brothers, back to our regular format. Hopefully you tuned into our previous couple podcasts. As you know, these two can tend to get rowdy sometimes, especially if you met them on track. I can tell you that we've been going out for about 25 minutes trying to get this podcast started. You're not going to get to see any of that. But realistically, this is what the topic that we're going to do today. So it was absolutely fantastic. We'll try to keep it PG, try to keep it clean, but it is what it is. So today we're going to talk about data. Okay. Not only are we going to talk about data, but we're going to talk about what we use as far as what program or what devices we use for the data and what can be done, especially within teams and what the outcomes can be. So this was absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to sum it up and get us opened up here. So recently we've all made a change. Just like everyone, right when you get into karting, when you first get your kart, you start to look around the track and you start to see these things on everybody's steering wheel, right? Most of the people have something called a Mychron, Mychron 3s, Mychron 4s, Mychron 5s, but there is also another company out there that makes them. I always mispronounce their name, but it's Alfano. So those are primarily the two that you see in the US all over the place. I have seen a third company, not sure who it is, but again, I haven't used them, but theirs is like round. So if anybody knows who they are, just go ahead and put the link below and let's start on discussion on that one as well. Anyway, we've all been on Mycrons for the past, 2.5 years, probably 2 years, Mychron 5. And just made the change primarily because of how easy it is for us to interchange data back and forth.
To give it right away.
So
now it's so easy. Now it's easier just to put it on your phone. If you want to share it with everybody, just share it with everybody.
Yeah. So
that's why Mycrons had a password to get onto it. I'm gonna put I think about I'll put a password on mine now.
You still need a pin to link
nope,
up YouTube.
Nope.
Now,
I'm locking my pin out.
On our next video, right? So the next video that you're going to post on the Jam channel pretty much is going to
screw somebody.
Now. So Jorge, as he normally does, went ahead and took Miguel's data from Orlando, who he's pretty quick in Orlando. He's usually one of the faster guys in the senior class. And it was like he was at the club.
It wasn't at the club. It was we were helping out one of the new guys that we just got on the chassis. Right, and Noah was having a little issue in in some of the braking areas, right? Because he has been out of the 206 for a minute, so he keeps braking a little too early, and he was braking a little too early because he's used to driving the tag cart around. So I just took borrowed Miguel's data and showed him where he could brake a little bit later, increase speed, and it helped out. It helped the kid out, okay?
Listen,
on Miguel's defense, Miguel's motor, the block is bad, it's leaking and stuff like that. So he is down on power for sure.
It's not that I didn't want Noah to help Noah because I do like him. I like Gordon.
Apparently not.
No, but hey, racing craft is racing craft, right? You can demonstrate on a piece of paper, not legitimately lay over the information.
So the way that we went to the Alfano is just so easy. You come off track, you link it up, you put it on the app, and then you can basically has an outline of the layout. You can just drag it across, and it takes like 5 seconds. We work our own carts. We don't have a mechanic wrenching for us, so we have to split our time between trying to grab the data, trying to grab wrench on our stuff, do changes, pop tires. Like an hour break goes like this,
and an hour is long, right? Sometimes it's like, especially the
Orlando, the LO206 Cup, it was like
15 minutes. So we get to qualify and you pull up and it's like, okay, heavy class, you're good to go. So when you literally, all that you have to do is just, as soon as, you could be going through the weight scales and somebody could realistically be hooking up with their phone to
pulling the data off. Yeah.
Pulling that before you even get to the scale. So, which is why we made the change. So we've realized over the last year, right now that we're going to bigger events, so national events and in Indiana and whatnot, that data is king, right? So a lot of these bigger teams who have extra help and extra drivers and extra coaches and everything that you can think of have a guy that literally sits there with a laptop, right? Using data. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with sharing it within teams as long as that you're okay with the other person knowing. Which I think Jorge forgot to ask that part.
Yeah.
Someone
I
know.
will apologize on the podcast. I should have asked Miguel first before I grabbed this data to help out another driver.
But it's
I won't.
need help.
I learned my lesson. I won't do it again. Even though Miguel put me on the wrong gear for this last weekend, I
I
won't do it
didn't
again.
put him on. I didn't
what year
put
did
you
he
on a
put you
name
on?
right.
So how off did he put you? That's the question.
He put me
16
on.
front driver, and I didn't even know it was on there. No, I would have told him, hey, by the way, you need to put
So we
the
always
right gear
run.
on.
We always run a 15 something. All right. I'm not gonna give away any more else. I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna give away shit. We run a 15 something, and I was on a 16 what I thought rear gear was. So basically, I was like four teeth off. The whole
What happened?
I never even knew what a rev limiter was this last weekend. I looked at the Alfano, I was like, I'm only hitting 5,600 RPMs on the straightaway. But yeah, I'm pulling 52 miles an hour. I was like, dang, I'm flying. But coming out of turns, nothing. And then when I overlaid my data with Senior, because Senior was running heavy with me, and his lap times were pretty close. I can see that going to a turn, carrying the turn, everything's good. And then when I get out of the turn, I just had no pickup speed, and his pickup speed was amazing. And you can see where he was hitting the rev limiter, like 4 different parts of the track, because he was carrying it well. And then I was looking at mine, I was like, man, there's something wrong. Like I way off. So I added a 2.
When did you notice this?
Oh yeah, when the day was over. I decided to take off the clutch because it was bugging the crap out of me.
Well, I mean, and you didn't notice that in first practice? Like, holy crap, I'm almost 600 RPMs away.
Yeah, but I was running faster than you, so I was like, screw it. And
I was
then
on some bowling ball tires.
And then when I qualified, I ran a 105 flat, and I was like, dude, I'm a rocket. I was like, it can't be the gear. I'm a rocket. And next thing you know, when I was in the pre-final, I was like, man, I can't get away from anybody, but man, I'm still going good. And then when Cheris barely beat me at the line, I was like, oh, well, I just add a tooth. I'm a tooth off. And then when I pulled away and won at the end, I was like, well, I mean, I'm guessing it's just the Mychron not reading right. I'm just guessing it's my bad. We've used Mychron so long that I'm guessing it's the Alfano not reading right. And they just start bugging the crap out of me. And I was like, I got to pull the clutch off. Let me see. And then when I saw the clutch, I was like, 16 front driver.
Yeah, but going back to data, right? So now that you have this information on this gear, right? Which realistically you wouldn't have tried all day, right? Like you would have never gone.
No, I would have never gone to gear that.
So now we have this data, and again, data is king. So now next time that we're in Orlando, and you put the correct the correct front gear, so you go with the 15. Now we have information to overlay, so we could see what the real difference is between the two. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, I already saw okay, so the cool thing is, Senior sent me the finals via text. That's the thing. You can download the file from the Alfano to the app and then send the file via text and then download it to the other person. So he sent me the stuff later, like a day later, right? And when I overlaid it and did the data overlay on both, I can see where I was able to brake later, carry more speed, but the gear that he was on was the right gear, was able to do more pickup. Basically, he was ahead of me the whole lap except for the straightaway, which I was like 4 miles an hour faster, but I had a toe.
Mm-hmm.
If I've never would have had that toe, I would have never been in a hunt at all. But my chassis was rolling well and stuff like that. So the overlay of data, yeah. And now I found out, okay, being on the wrong gear, you can still roll plenty of speed. But what I did find was kind of interesting on staying in that torque range for the motor as well. But definitely not the right gear because it took me so long to pick up back speed back up. But
what is that? Oh, wait a second. So
This is This is how you know Gabe's been homeschooled. He gets
Yeah,
excited about the little
yeah.
things.
So you're gonna
Who
see,
played that music?
you're gonna see here first. So if
Gabe.
anybody here recognized what that was, so back in the, I think late '90s, in wrestling,
Yeah.
there was a group of faction called New World Order, which were the bad guys of wrestling, as they called it. So officially, I mean, I've talked about it on the podcast before. We have gotten a reputation, especially the one over there. When we go to the track, boys,
Which
right?
one's that one?
Your brother.
Yeah, but
So throwing carts at people,
get
you know. So
Jeff Gordon now moved up from Mark Martin to Jeff Gordon.
so we have started. So Miguel and I took the liberty to design something, and it's not a huge design. So if you want to be part, you let us know. It's called the Karting World Order. So this is gonna be one of our new t-shirts. So look,
Woo!
I don't know if he's disappointed or he.
The bad boys.
So Karting World Order shirts. If you want one, let us know. They'll be available at the track as well. Hit me a DM so we can get them made. But
Why
yeah.
Not Go Racing is not available because we got to redesign it.
Yeah, well, I'm getting the new ones made already. So
All right. Oh shit.
but look, Jorge doesn't even know what to say. He has no idea.
That's cool.
yeah.
Look at him. He doesn't know. He's so
That's cool. That's cool stuff.
that is cool stuff. He doesn't know. Look at the embarrassment. So
It is an embarrassment. I don't know how I hang out with these guys. Miguel, I'm stuck with him because he's family. But Gabe, I don't know. I don't know why.
That
And
was probably the best idea we've ever had.
No.
It's just a cool alternative shirt.
yeah.
Why is
So,
it white and black? There's no color to it.
it doesn't have to be. It
The
didn't
first
have to.
jam
And
card.
Karting KWO, really? What? Karting World Order.
Yeah.
They had LWO, Latino World Order.
Yeah.
The
No,
one
I thought it should have been more like Bad Boys for Life.
No.
Or like, yeah,
I don't know.
it should.
Maybe
It
you
should have
can take this
been more like.
Just so
it
you
should
know, this is volume
it sh-
1. This is Karting World Order Volume 1.
Hey, check this
Yeah.
out.
We've already got Volume 2. We've already figured out what Volume 2
What you can do is just take Gabe's idea and use it as yourself, and make it better,
and
like
steal
you do
mine.
with everything.
And steal
Yeah,
it.
you're
steal
right.
the idea.
You're right.
Exactly.
You're right. When do
Uh,
I steal Gabe's idea?
Usually.
Well, you're going to right now because you already
I
have
am.
an opinion. You already have an
this-
opinion how
this
you
is
can make it better.
You're right. I'm going to steal this idea to make it better. but I don't
Oh,
steal any other ideas.
All we need is, but
I also
The
need to steal
KW
his idea. I also still need to steal his idea for our intro for Jam Racing. We're going to change up the intro for Jam Racing, make it more us three, because you know that we are now. So we got to make up. Gabe needs to. Really, I'm not going to do it. Gabe's going to make a new intro for Jam Racing.
I can get
Something like White Knuckle Racing. I like the White Knuckle, like the one that he does.
I'm like, what, man? I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
Fast and the
something like that.
Furious.
You see, something like that. Something cooler. Ours is, I'm like,
I'm like, slot machine, clink. Give me another.
I like it, but
Give me another one.
yeah,
All right,
Gabe,
yes.
Gabe could do something.
coming up. That's okay. So we'll be working on that. Jorge, what else you got? I know that you're on the new chassis. What's the difference between both S55s?
Nothing. I
What?
learned my lesson. I learned my lesson.
No, that's
I learned my lesson. So I'm on the brand new TB S55 chassis. I have done still some slight modifications to make it to more my liking, right? Because there are some things that I know what I like and I don't know what I want. So I made the chassis more for me, but it is a rocket. The cart handles amazing. I did 0 adjustments. I did 1 gear change, 0 adjustments all weekend.
so, but it was
I even put it at night. Now I have to thank Miguel, Senior, and that's it for helping me put it together. I was gonna say Chris, but Chris took off. He went home. Stuart showed up stupid late and didn't do anything. Gabe didn't show up to the track, and then yeah, that's it. So Miguel and Senior, thank you, because without those two, I could never finish putting the chassis together. It took us a long time to get all the parts to make it, right. And I gotta thank VTM my friend.
VTM, my friend.
Engines. Yeah, VTM. What's his name?
It's Ventac or Ventac or
yeah, it's too hard to say.
yeah.
I'm using my phone, so someone
Yeah.
look it up on Facebook.
Yeah. So it's VTM. It's something with an M.
No,
It's
shout out to the guys in his team. Like he's got the
oh yeah.
that 206 program guys. Like they're doing absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what they do is nothing but seat time. They're in Jacksonville for locals. They're in Anderson. They're in Orlando. Like that is what's making these guys super fast. Is just getting in the cart and driving them. Ron's brother gets out there at Anderson. Apparently the chassis is 20 years old because it's old enough to drink, and he's running right there top 1 and 2.
Yeah,
that's all seat. That's seat time. They get in it, they drive it. You know, like
That's
the data ordeal. Like sometimes the data is what. This is the difference between Jorge and I think a lot of like, and was Junior also, you guys like to look at the lap times and stuff like that. And for me, that's very important when it comes to practice and qualifying to see where everybody's going to stand. But also in racecraft hits, like I feel like it all goes out the window. There's so much other stuff that can happen. So for me, I really don't pay attention to data until it's given away. But racecraft, and then like, that's how I see it with that. Like, seat time, just get in and drive it. But if you are lacking in somewhere and you feel like you are lacking, then you can look that part up and just tweak where you're lacking.
The data is mostly for like,
it's just mental. For me, it's to help you mentally and let you know, hey,
no,
you need to.
When I look,
more.
So when I race on the right, I put like positive and negative, and like making sure I try to do the same thing over and over in the same lap, or where I like even practice that brake earlier, turning sooner, get out of the corner better. Like I just try to improve slowly, but it's hard when like you're on a team and there are only like very little areas. I found out one section of the track that Senior was actually doing better than me, where I'm going to try out next. It's the kink right after I called a showcase. It's that kink left-hander. His line wasn't better, but he was breaking in deeper. He was carrying more speed into the turn. Like
opposite of what you do normally.
3 mile an hour quicker than what I was doing. And he was just carrying more speed, and then he would get to the left. He would still carry more speed, but when he had to turn right, he was offline. So you can see where he had to back out of it and then get back into it. So if I could carry more speed into a turn like he does, get the cart rotated and back around, I'm pretty sure I could pick up another 10th or 2 just off that one little section. But the thing is, I'm not. And then Gabe, I think there was one place in Homestead which Gabe would send it into turn 1 a little bit harder. And then I was able to pick that up because we had Juggy that weekend. And Juggy was helping out the whole team. And he ended up helping out us with the Mychron. So when I was able to pick up that was 3/10 right there that I picked up.
I think that was the first weekend when we all started realizing, like, hey, like there's, especially I was just so new into karting then. When Juggy literally across the tent yells, hey, Gabe's beating you. I think it was by 4 mile an hour out of turn 1, turn 2. I was like, even myself, I was like, I did what?
Yeah, and then I went over there and
I'm
he
doing
showed
what?
me. He's like, he goes into turn 1 a lot harder than I do. So I was able to pick up time like that. Yeah, getting in the car and driving, that's one thing. That's driving.
That's
and then
just a fine
when it comes to
tweaking.
racecraft, when it comes to racecraft, yeah, of course. Like, but that's driving and racecraft, that all becomes seat time.
Yep.
The fine tweaking that you need, the extra 10th that we need at the Nationals, from 7th to 25th. 2/10.
That was it.
The whole field was 2/10. The top 6 were in their own little league. The rest of the field was 2/10. That's the data I needed. And we didn't have the Alfanos then. So I'm pretty sure there was a section of the track someone else was beating me that I could have picked up off of them.
And vice versa, right? Because, I mean, out of the group of the heavy guys, you are the faster one, right? But I also feel like now that we're able to share this data between the team and each other, there is days, especially last time that we did Anderson, right? My lap times, the last 2 times we've been to Anderson, I've been flying. And then we went to Homestead and I was flying. So, but we haven't we're still learning and getting used to, like Jorge said earlier, off the cart, pull the data, read the data, wrench on the cart, and do what we got to do. And we're all still trying to figure this out. We might go out there, we make this vlogs, and we make it seem like we got it all figured out, guys. We don't. We really don't. Most of the time, we're looking at each other and we're going, why aren't we recording? Because there's some really awesome stuff that we always miss, but because we're all wrenching and we're all just deep, balls deep into trying to figure out how to pick up the half tenth, 2/10, 1/10, whatever it is. What's going on? Yeah. We miss a lot of the stuff. So if anybody ever wants to come out, hang out with us, maybe record all day for us, let's go right along. Maybe get yourself a Karting World Order shirt. I don't know.
All right, promotional.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. That's really good. Oh, the only thing I can say about Mychron is that they did always seem like they had like a tech support people. You know, like they walk around, they had a backpack, say, hey man, can I do anything for your Mychron? And it's like, yeah, you mind updating it? Because I don't have a computer really. I mean, I don't. So I don't have any way of updating it. They come over and they update it. And Jorge had a screen replace on his at the track. So
under warranty.
Under warranty. So the only thing I could give Mychron over Alfano for now, but again, we never used to run Alfano, so I can't really tell if they were at the track or not, because you're not going to look for the other people you don't have. But now Alfano starts picking that part up, that'd be great. Because I said I'm minimum technology. I have
he has
an iPhone XR.
He's got a carbureted race car in the garage, but he has no laptop. So if that
I can't tune it. We can't tune a laptop.
If that gives you any idea of who Miguel is.
Yeah, Miguel's very outdated in technology. But yeah, no, track support on Mychron, top notch. Track support, those guys. I had an issue with the screen delaminating. Guy took it, brought it back. I wasn't picking up the track, so he downloaded the track on there. So track support. And we still use the Mychron for like junior now. He's on the 100cc. So we still use a Mychron on there, and I mean, if you know how to read it right, it works well. But the ease of use, Alfano all the way.
Yeah. So so realistically, they're both going to give you what you need, right? You're going to be able to
read
the data on both. You're going to be able to overlay data on both. No, there is no difference. The difference for us, because one, there is so many of us trying to help each other, is being able to use this, I think.
Yeah. The more convenience for especially if you're racing, wrenching, and tuning and everything yourself, the Alfano would be the way to go. Yeah. And then because you have it to your just right there in hand. And if you have an iPad, it'd probably be even better because it'll just be bigger. But it'll download just as fast. It'll be just all it is a little bit bigger. I think
download speeds are a lot faster too. So because if you really think about it, by the time you boot up the laptop every time, and then you have to sit there and you have to wait for it to connect, right? Then you wait and download the data, and then you have to go to the next one, right? And do the same thing. And then, I mean, you're going to spend time going from cart to cart. Now being on a phone and you given access to those on the phone, you're talking within 4 minutes, 5 minutes, you can download 3 carts worth of data fairly quickly.
And a GoPro video too. So if you have one person doing the Alfano stuff, lapping over, and then that person has their GoPro and this person has their GoPro, then you can probably just compare, okay, here's your layout lap here, and then this other person's here, and you can kind of see the difference. Because I'm more of a visual, I'm a visual learner. You could turn 6, I'll be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 6. Okay, yeah. Which one's that one? Around the flagpole? Like that's where I'm at. So having, one phone with that data layout and the 2 other phones, this person with their GoPro, this person with that GoPro, then you can visually see, okay, this is where that turn is. And the over layout on how Alfano does, that's kind of nice because it's like, oh, turn 3. I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that one. And then look at it on the GoPro and then like, okay, that's where I'm messing up. So and again, that's a fine tuning for.
If anybody's wondering, we're not sponsored by Alfano. They didn't reach out to us.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we went out. We bought our own. We all spent our hard-earned money to get that. I think thanks to Stuart was the one that we probably that had the first experience of using one. And he was kind of like showing off his cool little British with his accent, on how it works.
But look at here, Mike. This is what he's losing tire pressure.
Mate, that's Australian.
Oh, sorry, Stuart.
Sorry.
I guess I won't drink Foster tonight.
So, but that's it, guys. So for right now, we're on the Alfano. We're really enjoying the data, the ability to share the data. And that's another thing. share the data days later. So you don't really, I mean, you have the ability to do that with the
Not on race weekend,
but
not the day of.
I could literally send Jorge data right now. And
I sent it the week prior, Miguel.
Oh, you had a whole week to study it. Perfect. It's like a final exam. Oh, I got a week to study this shit.
He probably didn't even look at it. He was like,
Out of all love, if Gordon watches our videos,
I don't
all
think
love to them.
nobody really watches this far. So
no,
nobody watches.
All love to them, but I'm not. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, but I'm also not upset. If I had to lose anybody, it would have to be them. Another TB cart. So it was a TB 1 and 2. So I'm glad I could help.
All right, guys. So we're gonna end it there for tonight. Thank you again for watching. Let us know at the bottom what is it that you're using, or if you even use any data. Hey, you never know. We can learn something new. Don't forget both channels. Please go subscribe, hit the like button, comment on everything, comment down below. Let us know what you think, and let us know if there's any other podcasts, anything you want to hear us talk about. I mean, we could probably sit here for hours if I bring up something as simple as F1 from this weekend, because it was absolutely awesome. But maybe we'll just leave that for another day. So, all right, guys.
Both out wreck Russell on purpose.
Yes, he did. Subscribe,
Bring the flag out.
I hate Lewis Hamilton. So thanks, guys.
Catch you guys on track.
Stuart's gonna be mad. See ya.